The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Zixither of the Valorian Empire transmitted the tribute demand across all human communication channels. For 3 centuries, the Council had maintained order across 47 civilized species through a simple system: protection in exchange for resources. Every species complied. Every species understood the alternative. Annie Chen sat in the Earth Defense Command Center, her fingers drumming against the polished table as she reviewed the transmission for the 5th time. As humanity's chief diplomatic officer, she had dealt with the Council's increasingly aggressive posturing for months. But this was different. This wasn't negotiation, it was extortion. They want 40% of our agricultural output, 30% of our rare earth metals, and exclusive rights to our water reserves, she said, looking across the table at General Massey Rodriguez. In exchange for protection from threats we've never encountered. Massey leaned back in his chair, his weathered face unreadable. He had fought in 3 colonial conflicts and negotiated peace treaties on Mars, Europa, and Titan. He knew power games when he saw them. What happens if we refuse? According to their records, the Drashani refused 40 years ago, Annie replied, pulling up holographic images of a desolate world. Their planet is now a mining colony. The Drashani themselves are extinct. The room grew heavy with that word, extinct. It wasn't a threat, it was a promise. We have 72 hours to respond, Annie continued. The Council expects our submission in writing, with full resource allocation schedules for the next 50 years. Massey stood and walked to the massive window overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Ships moved across the water below, oblivious to the cosmic knife at humanity's throat. What does Earth's government want us to say? They want diplomacy, Annie said carefully. They want me to negotiate better terms, to find a compromise. And what do you want? Annie met his eyes. They had known each other for 15 years, had survived the Titan rebellion together, had buried friends on foreign soil beneath alien stars. She knew he would understand. I want to tell them no. Massey smiled a cold, dangerous expression. Then let's tell them no. The next 18 hours were chaos. The Earth Council convened an emergency session. Scientists calculated the Council's military capabilities. Strategists ran 10,000 simulations. Every scenario ended in humanity's defeat on paper. But Massey had learned something during the Titan rebellion that the simulations never captured. Humans didn't fight like other species. They didn't calculate acceptable losses. They didn't surrender when the math said they should. Annie drafted the response herself. Massey reviewed it, crossed out everything except one word, and sent it directly to her terminal with a message. This is all they need to hear. When she saw it, Annie laughed a sharp, almost wild sound. It was insane. It was reckless. It was perfectly human. She uploaded the response to the Council's priority channel without consulting anyone else. Some decisions were too important for committees. The Galactic Council reconvened in their orbital station above the Valorian homeworld. 12 species represented, each more ancient and powerful than humanity. They had expected lengthy negotiations, perhaps a few token objections, before inevitable submission. That's how civilized species behaved. Ambassador Zixither activated the human response with an air of supreme confidence. The message loaded. The chamber's translation matrices engaged. One word appeared on every screen in every language. No doubt the chamber erupted. Delegates shrieked in their native tongues. Security officers reached for weapons that weren't there. Zixither's skin changed through 7 colors that indicated confusion, rage, and something the Council hadn't felt in centuries: uncertainty. This is their complete response? Council Prime Thelax demanded. It is, Zixither confirmed, checking the file again. One word. No explanation. No negotiation. Just no. They must not understand the consequences, another delegate suggested. They understand. Massey's voice suddenly echoed through the chamber. The general had hacked their secure channel, an act that should have been impossible. Annie, would you like to clarify our position? Annie's holographic image materialized beside Massey's. The Council seems confused. So let me translate. No, we will not give you our resources. No, we will not accept your protection. No, we will not submit. Is that clear enough, or should I use smaller words? You dare, Zixither began. We dare, Massey interrupted. You want to know what's different about humans? We're the only species in this galaxy that evolved as persistence hunters. We don't give up. We don't back down. And we sure as hell don't pay protection money to bullies. You cannot win, Thelak stated flatly. Our fleets outnumber yours 10,000 to 1. Probably, Annie agreed. But here's what you need to understand. Humans have been fighting each other for 10,000 years. We've mastered every form of warfare ever conceived. We've built weapons that can crack planets, and we've had the restraint not to use them until now. If you attack us, Massey continued, we won't try to win. We'll make sure you lose. We'll target your homeworlds, your colonies, your resource stations. We'll fight in space, on land, in your atmospheres. And when you finally defeat us, if you do, you'll inherit nothing but ashes and a galaxy that will remember you destroyed an entire species. For refusing to bow, the council chamber had gone silent again. But this was different. This was the silence of predators, realizing they had cornered something more dangerous than themselves. You're bluffing, Zixither said, but his voice lacked conviction. Annie smiled. Are we? Go ahead and find out. But remember, you only need to be wrong once. The transmission ended. The council deliberated for 3 days. On the 4th day, they sent their response, a formal apology for the misunderstanding and a proposal for equitable trade agreements between humanity and the council as equal partners. When Annie read it to the Earth Council, someone asked if humanity had just started a war. No, Massey replied, looking at the stars beyond Earth's atmosphere. We just reminded the galaxy that the price of picking a fight with humans is always too high. Annie added the council's message to humanity's archives under a single title. The day we said no. Sometimes, she reflected, the most terrifying thing isn't what you say, it's how you say it. And nothing in the galaxy was more terrifying than a human who had made up their mind.